Hello everyone. Today I am Rishabh Bharadwaj, Assistant Professor from Mechanical Department, taking the lecture of Applied Thermodynamics. Today in this lecture we will discuss about the dual cycle. Let's start with the dual cycle. How is it formed and which cycle and which two cycles get combined and form a dual cycle. Let's start it with its history. In the year 1888, the first oil engine has been developed. In the Arkwright Storrett designed an automatic ignition system by which the diesel Mr. Diesel used this principle and developed a basic dual combustion engine by which we are able to get the double power. In the dual cycle, it was first introduced by an engineer named Gustav Trinkler. In this cycle, the part of heat addition is at constant volume. That is this is isochoric process, and as well as at a constant pressure. That is a isobaric process. The name dual cycle is derived from the fact that if it is integration of both Otto as well as the diesel cycle. Let's see with the help of the diagram. You can see that black marked line represents the Otto cycle, and the purple line shows the diesel cycle. With the combination of Otto and the diesel cycle, we formed a dual cycle. The cyan color shows the dual cycle processes. In this, the compression take part at 2 to 2 dash and 2 to 2 dash to 3 dash, by which we are able to see in this figure that isobaric as well as then isochoric process both combined takes place for the purpose of compression. And when we see the TS diagram, then it shows that the value of entropy increased as compared to the Otto cycle, and it will become less as compared to diesel cycle. It means the diesel cycle and the diesel cycle and Otto cycle combination form a optimum result cycle by which we are able to get high efficiency. In the dual cycle, we can see in this diagram that first process in the engine is compression. In second, we can see that the in the compression cycle, when the piston moves upward, the heat is added in the dual cycle at a constant volume where heat get inside. Simultaneously, when the pistons go downward at the constant pressure, the heat is continuously added to the process. In the third process, we will get the expansion, where we will get the maximum power, and in the exhaust we are able to release out the excess or burnt fuel from the cylinder. In the dual cycle, the process 1 and 2 is 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Then 2 to x, that constant volume heat addition, and x to 3, the constant pressure heat addition. These two processes are from the Otto cycle and the diesel cycle. From 3 to 4, it is isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. By the help of PV diagram, you can see that the entropy at 1 to 2 is constant and 4 to 5 is also constant. Here in TS diagram, you can see that heat is added to the system at the process 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, and simultaneously the heat rejected at 5 to 1. Let's discuss how the dual combustion engine works. It is an internal combustion and consists of 4-stroke engine. Dual because the combustion takes place in two parts. First at the constant pressure and the second at the constant volume. This makes it better than diesel engine cycle. It also known as the limited pressure or a fixed cycle. The thermal cycle, that is a combination of Otto as well as a diesel cycle. Let's discuss the characteristic of the dual cycle. It consists of 4-stroke engine, and it improved the modern form of old diesel engine cycles. Its one stroke is divided into two parts, allowing it to carry out more work. Hence, the efficiency of the engine might increase throughout the process. This is the basic parts of the engine by which you can easily see that is we have the cylinders, and in the inside the cylinders we have the piston. The movement of the piston is to and fro, or we can say that a reciprocating motion. Then we have a connecting rod, crankshaft, flywheel, and the power sprocket, and we can see that the crankshaft motion. All these terms are the basic components of the engine. Just the changes is between the working of the process. Then stroke. Then each cycle of a piston consists of two opposite motions. There is a motion in one direction and then a motion back in the opposite direction. Each of these is called a stroke. Stroke is the action of a piston traveling the full length of its locomotive cylinder or engine cylinder in one direction. Let's discuss the sequence of the operation. For the dual cycle, the first operation is adiabatic compression. Then the second is addition of heat at a constant volume, and simultaneously the heat is still added at a constant volume. In the third process, that is adiabatic expansion, and fourth one is the rejection of heat at constant volume. If we discuss about the efficiency of the dual cycle engine, that is the engine efficiency of thermal engine is the relationship between the total energy contained in the fuel and the amount of energy used to perform useful work. Now I'll discuss about the expression for the efficiency. The first, according to the first law of thermodynamics, which says that energy neither be created or nor be destroyed, it can only be transformed from one energy to another. It means the total energy Q is supplied to the system is equal to the internal energy, that is the change of U plus work done, where the work done is the heat input minus heat output, that are denoted by the Q1 and Q2 respectively. The efficiency of the engine is defined as the output upon the input. The efficiency of the engine is defined as a useful work done to the heat provided, that the neta will is equal to the work done by the heat absorbed. where the work done is Q1 minus Q2 and the heats are absorbed, that is a Q1. Then the complete formula that forms, that is Q1 minus Q2 by Q1. Then the analysis of the cycle, we have did that the heat is supplied in two stages. That is a Q input will be the MCP and change of temperature, and MCV and change of temperature. Where the temperature difference we are analyzing, that is T4 minus T3, and for the constant volume, that T3 minus T2. The heat is rejected at the process, that is MCV T5 minus T1. For the simplification, the thermal efficiency has been noted that the neta will be 1 minus heat rejected upon heat input or absorbed. That will form that 1 minus MCV T5 minus T1 by MCV T3 minus T2 plus MCP T4 minus T3, which include and forms the equation, that is 1 minus CV 1 minus T5 minus T1 by T3 minus T2 plus gamma T4 minus T3, where gamma is the adiabatic constant and having the value 1.4 for the air. Let's discuss about the application of the dual cycle. The dual combustion engine are mostly and commonly used for the mobile propulsion in vehicles and portable machineries. In the mobile equipment, dual combustion is advantageous since it can provide high power to the weight ratio. As well as the weight ratio increases, the power is also increases. This is the advantage by which we are able to use the dual cycle. And if we're talking about generally using in the fossil fuels like in petroleum product, these engines have appeared in transport in almost all vehicles. Just like automobiles, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and in the wide variety of aircrafts and the locomotive. All these vehicles or the automobile vehicles use this type of dual cycle. Then we have a generator and the aircrafts. At a very high power to the weight ratio are required, the dual combustion engine appears in the form of gas turbine. These applications include jet aircraft, helicopters, large ships, and electric generators. In this, all these applications have the working principle of the dual cycle. Then we have a marine engine. If you can see in the marine engine, we have the cylinder which bored or horn to the OEM specification for smooth piston travel. Then we have head surfaces, and surface that finishes are statically monitored to ensure proper sealing with the block. Then we have a camshaft, that shaft are parkized and lifter rotation is improved with additional lobe taper. Then the journal and the fitter and thrust are the precisely machines for smooth engine operation. And if we're talking about the piston, that 100% new piston for the performance reliability. Then we have a valve and the springs. The 100% new valves and the springs are keeper for like new performance. Then live run testing. For the live run testing of popular complete engine provides peace of mind and ensures reliability. Future energy use. In the future, we can use the dual cycle and dual cycle applications in various allocations. That there is a role of dual combustion engine for the future energy, because the dual combustion engine has high power to the weight ratio. Simultaneously, it has a relatively low cost. It is very not about the cheaper, but having a low cost as compared to the diesel or the auto cycle engine. Then flexible to use fuel use. As we can use the different fuels for in this cycle, depending upon the condition and the situation, we can change the fuel of the engine. And established manufacturer investment, it means if we starting the manufacturing this type of engines, then the investment are very fruitful and we are making much profit as we are getting the more output from that. Let see an example today that in a dual combustion cycle, the compression start at 1 bar and 20 degrees Celsius. The compression ratio is 18 by 1 and the cutoff ratio is 1.15. The maximum cycle pressure is 1360 Kelvin. The total heat input is 1 kilojoule per cycle. Then calculate the following. First, the thermal efficiency of the cycle and the net work done per cycle. And also we have to check that the efficiency and does not contravene the Carnot principle. In this first line, the compression starts at 1 bar. It means the pressure has given at 1 bar. If we convert 1 bar into the Pascal, then the value will become 1 into the 10 raised to power 5 Pascal. And the temperature T1 has been given, that is 20 degrees Celsius. If we have to convert it into the Kelvin, 273 will be added to the 20 degree and we will get the answer in Kelvin. It means 293 Kelvin is the initial temperature. And the compression ratio is 18:1. It means the ratio of air is 18 and the fuel part is 1, where the cutoff ratio, that is 1.15, and the maximum cycle pressure is 1316 Kelvin. Next we have converted that T1 is 293 Kelvin and the hottest temperature is 1360 Kelvin, where beta has been given 1.15 and R is given 18, where we know that the adiabatic constant is 1.4 for the air. Then putting in the value that T2 is equal to T1 RV gamma minus 1 is equal to 293 into 18 raised to the power 0.4. After the calculation, the value will become, that is 931 Kelvin. If we discuss about the T3, then T3 value will be T3 by T4 into T4. That will be the T4 by beta. V3 and V3 by V4 is equal to the compression ratio, that is denoted by the beta. Then the value is 1360 by 1.15. After the simplification, the value will become 1183 Kelvin. And the value of P3 by P2 is equal to K, which is equal to the T3 by T2, that is 1.27. Then for the calculation and putting the values in the equation, we will get to know that the neta will become 0.68. It means the thermal efficiency of the engine is 68%, while the work done is neta into heat input. From the above equation, we have find that 0.68 is the efficiency of the engine, and heat input, that is 1. It means the value of net work done is 0.68 kilojoule per cycle. By keeping in the mind that Carnot efficiency should not be higher, then for that we have calculated the value that neta is equal to 1 by temperature of colder body upon the temperature of colder body, by which we are able to put these values, and we get 1 minus 293 by 1360. That will come, the answer that will come after the simplification, that is 0.785, which is quite higher as compared to the thermal efficiency or the net work done by the dual cycle. The decrease or some difference between the Carnot and the dual cycle shows that the values are correct as compared to the Carnot cycle, as Carnot cycle is a very theoretical cycle and provides a theoretical values, and the dual cycle is based on the working or the practical cycle, which have some lower values as compared to the Carnot cycle, and the figure of 0.68 is lower, so the Carnot principle has not been contravened. This is the end of this lecture, and you will get another sessions or lecture soon. Thank you.